That's not fun.
What
So
are you talking about? I love being hangry. It's like my favorite thing in the world. If I
you
could do
stay,
if I could do one thing all day, every day, it's be hangry. I love it.
sure,
Love it.
sure it is.
Right?
Oh, I do have two books to show off from
Cool.
the thing. Let's
Go for it. You can show them off
Oh,
if
show
you
them off
want.
now. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's do the intro first.
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Toddcast. Uh, I am John, your host, who has been on literally every single episode of this thing, even when it was audio. Me and friends. It's great. Uh,
Oh,
yeah, Justin as always. So
yes.
at least for now, as always, we'll see.
Well, I was gonna
Who
say
knows what
this.
24 will bring? Ha ha.
Well, it's my second year, so I'm
Right.
cool.
No, it'll be
You know,
good. It'll be good. So it's fine. I
are
have no
you are
plans
you
on
are
replacing him
you?
yet.
I was gonna say, are you predicting bad things on today of all days for me? Come on, man. That's not cool.
Oh no. Oh yeah, that's right. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
So,
What a way to end the night.
right. Sorry. It's been a long day. Um yeah, it's just been a long day. Um so lots of stuff for this last episode of the year. Because we're just
Yeah.
talking about it because next week's Thanksgiving and then the rest of it is December and we just are like, nah, not gonna happen. It's
Uh,
gonna be too busy.
we
So
I was gonna say maybe one in December if we can manage it, but
it might be like the week between Christmas and New Year's, maybe. Maybe.
maybe.
Maybe we'll do like a random year in review episode then, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Um, so maybe that's what I'll work in the next time Todd comes on, just to be like, tell stories. So anyway, which, by the way, I have a funny story for you later.
Oh,
But okay, so this this weekend is the Lorcana drop. So just so you guys know, the only store that'll have it on launch date this Friday is our waterfront store. Everybody else won't get their stuff till Monday or Tuesday. Just so you know, don't call, don't question, don't come in, don't whatever. Well, you can come in, just don't ask.
please be pleasant is
And
my
patient.
go-to, and patient.
Just be
Yes.
pleasant and patient.
Patient.
Next week, we have a lot of stuff going on next week. So next Wednesday is local comic shop day, which means we'll have local comic shop variants. You can see a little smattering of them at our website in the scroller thing if you look at local comic shop day. Also, we'll have our friends at Comicsburg at our waterfront store. So I believe it's going to be Marvin, Grant, DP, and maybe even Manny. They're going to be there from 12 to 5. And then from 5 to 8, we're going to have Pat Olaf. He's going to be there signing Secret Wars Battle Worlds #1. We have a whole bunch of extra copies, a whole bunch of extra of his cover copies. You will see me there too. You can give me high fives all day. High fives are free always. And then Thanksgiving, and then Black Friday. So Black Friday, spend $50 or more pre-tax, 20% off your whole purchase. Excludes different things per store. Definitely excludes all TCGs. So sealed card games, basically. So Magic, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Lorcana, Flesh and Blood,
One Piece.
One Piece, Force of Will, whatever we have around.
Anything
They're going to
sealed.
be excluded. Also excluded dollar books. Why? Because dollar books are going to be half off from Black Friday till the end of business on 12/31, New Year's Eve. New Year's Day, they go back to dollar a piece. So get them in there. You got like 6 weeks of really good digging to do.
Yeah. Yep.
And please don't try to hide stuff. We're gonna rake it on Wednesday night to make sure everything's mixed and tight and like cleaned up a
Yeah.
little bit. So
Especially
every
here in
year,
the mills, guys, I get there early in the morning. So if I find piles upon piles, I'm going to take pictures of them and post them on Facebook. and I'll be that dude on TikTok. It is, hey, Pittsburgh Mills, who did this? And I'll be like, I'll find out who you are, and I will lose my crap on you.
Every year we take, like, we're not stupid. We watch people shop, and then we wait till they're done, and then we find their stack, and then we split it apart among all the books, because that's bullshit. Dude, it's $1. Fucking buy the book. Like, if you really want it for 50 cents, come out and spend the whole day digging for 50 cents. Don't do that. Yeah.
Yes.
And then Saturday, we have Sean Gabriel celebrating his first book on Scout Comics called This Little Piggy, and it will have extra copies of that at the Mills from 12 to 3. So come out for that. It's going to be cool. After that, we really don't have anything going on the rest of the year except just crazy everyday stuff, Christmas shopping, blah, 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 blah. So come on out and hang out. Yeah, the Mills has the most dollar books outside of Elwood. Then probably Ohio, then probably Butler. Cranberry is at the bottom of the poll. Waterfront, they probably are like second bottom, but whatever. Because theirs are hard to reach because you have to go on the floor and dig through them. So we did do rotation stocks, just so you guys know, all of the like $3 silver, the $5 sets, the hot modern, all that stuff got rotated this week. The week after Thanksgiving, the case and wall books will be rotating. So if you want something in one of the stores now, either buy it or put it on hold, because those are your two options.
What is the Mills specialty right now is X-Men. Tons and tons of early X-Men for those who are looking for, like, we still have the first appearance of Sauron. We still have a lot of early key appearances.
I think I sold the Sauron.
Did you?
I think I did on Tuesday, maybe.
Okay.
Don't hold me to that. It's been a crazy week. I may or may not have done that. I know it showed it to someone at least, and the dude bought a bunch of books.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Anyway,
then forget that part. But there are tons of early X-Men, before Giant X-Men #1s. For those who are always looking for that, we got some of those. So,
yeah, that's about it. We're also going to watch the formation of my facial hair go from what I had before to now, which is lovingly being called the Lemmy look.
Yes.
I've gotten a lot of people that are like, "Nice Lemmy."
Yeah. Hey, it's better than them calling it the Fu Manchu, which is not.
Well, it's not though, because I have like side.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, but also you can't call it Fu Manchu anymore due to
but also it's not even close. It's not even.
Well, you got this. You have
but that's not a Fu Manchu. A Fu Manchu doesn't have anything in the middle. It's literally these parts out here, and they're just really, really long. But it's only these little bits.
Slow it down.
Nah, I don't think.
Maybe my definition is different than your definition, but
whatever. We're gonna stop talking about racist mustaches. It's gonna be great.
We hear enough about certain other things in mustache land. We don't want to talk about.
It will go down to a just mustache soon, though. Although I kind of want to take a bunch of pictures of me playing my guitars in like a bunch of different.
You need the long hair. You need like
but
long
like when this
black
thing starts
hair to
whipping
go
around,
when
this stuff starts whipping around. It's pretty good. Although I think I might get my hair cut tomorrow. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, lots of cool stuff going on. Lots of things, stuff and things.
There you go.
So some things that we're going to talk about after we talk about comics. The Madam Web trailer. We're going to talk about the end of Loki season 2. Well, the end of Loki at all.
Yes.
And we're going to talk a little bit about the Marvels. So nothing super fuck it. We're going to spoil it. It's the last show of the year. Yeah. Whatever.
And according to the internet, it's garbage anyway. So, let's just go for it here.
The best thing I saw was this. There was a thing where it was like, people who saw the movie all really liked it. What the fuck? So
not everybody. There's still the usual gatekeeping crap, but that's again, yeah, you have that everywhere. But before we talk about current stuff this week, I want to show off what I got in the bills last week, just because I was going through collections. I found a Mortal Kombat number 0. And I was
that's
like,
interesting.
yes. Because I believe this is the first Mortal Kombat in comics, period. Unless you count like that. I don't know if the half came before the 0 or not. I'm not sure. Because it was one of those weird half in a Wizard magazine or some crap like that. I'm
That is
not
weird.
sure. But it's still a nice little book to have because I am a Mortal Kombat nut. And then I also found the Spectre number 1, Silver Age. I think this is his first solo series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I hate that glare. God damn it. That's one thing for Christmas I may have to ask is like one of those glare reducing things on the internet here so my cam doesn't pick it up. Either that or get a new cam. But
yeah, that's the thing.
Out. Yeah. But thanks for the guys at Mills for letting me buy those. But
cool. All right. Hold on, I got one more thing to do. I'm trying to set it up while you were talking, and I didn't quite get to there yet. Okay. Let me hide the sidebar. I guess it's gonna be one or the other. I guess. All right. Just so you guys know, we started announcing people for the show. Yes. And I wanted to go over this too real quick. So, here's who we've announced so far. And we're gonna do this in like groups of people, so you guys know, just so you know. Yes. So the first guy is Pat Olive. Obviously Spider-Girl. He's doing that barbed wire. He did the barbed wire that's sitting behind him there in the picture. He's doing the Secret Wars. It's coming up. It's gonna be great. Ron Friends, who did Amazing 252, who worked on Superman, Spider-Man, G.I. Joe, Fantastic Four. I'm missing another big one. Thor.
I was gonna say, how do you forget about Thor?
Yeah. Ron's worked on a lot of stuff, so
yes. He is our Pittsburgh legend.
That's true. Well, yeah. Tom Scioli, who's done Fantastic Four Grand Design. He did 8 Opus. He did I Am Stan Lee. He did the Jack Kirby book. He did Godland. He did Transformers G.I. Joe. He's a great time. He'll be there all day Saturday, but he's going to be there a little late Sunday, and he's going to leave a little early Sunday, just so you guys know. So if you want to catch him, Saturday's the better day to catch him. Dave Wachter, this is the correct spelling version, because I fucked that up the other day. Sorry, Dave. But Dave has done Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He's done Iron Fist, Heart of the Dragon with Larry Hama. He's doing the current Punisher book with Dave Pepos that I reviewed last week. He did Godzilla, Planet of the Apes, couple other things, but dude's done a lot of cool work. He got to kill a Ninja Turtle. He got to create a female Ninja Turtle. It was a good time. Mark Morales, who has never been to Pittsburgh ever. He's an Iker. He's a good dude. He's worked on Nubia. He's worked on Spider-Man, Deadpool, Star Wars High Republic, Batman, a couple other things. Some possibly notable things. Yes. But Mark's a great guy. His work's fantastic. Make sure you guys stop and see him. And then our first cosplay guest announcement is Nikki Lee Cosplay, which this announcement actually got the most traction that we've had in a long time. Mm-hmm. But it's awesome. Like, we're really excited. This is Nikki's first time being a cosplay guest at a show. And we're very excited to have her. She's great. For those of you who were at the Mills on Batman Day, she was out there as Harley Quinn. So yeah, it's a good time. It's very good, very fun. And you can get all your tickets at threeriverscomiccon.com/tickets, or you can go to the ticket. You just click tickets on the website, and then or you can come into your local New Dimension Comics and buy them. And if you buy them in our stores, we will eat the fees. Just so you know.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
So save your $1.50 whatever fee. Yeah, we'll do that for you. But you got to do it. So they make a great gift for the holiday. We wanted to make sure they were out in time for that. So come on out and do that. So, all right. Now let's talk comic books because, we're a comic podcast, I think.
Yes. We'd like to think so.
Right. All right. Green Lantern 5. It's my first book. This has been so good. So this starts out where Sinestro he's got like a group of guys and they have a bunch of drones and they're flying around the world and they're blowing shit up, and which is weird because like one of the guys is like King Shark. It's like King Shark, a squid, and some other dude that I don't know. So Green Lantern and Carol are trying to get all the drones destroyed, and at one point he like Hal flies way up because two drones are going to like two different places, and he does this awesome thing where he basically like puts his trust in the ring, and he sends two different constructs to two different places and barely catches it, but he blows them both up. And Sinestro is sad and crazed and mad, and at the end, like, he finds him, and his ring, instead of putting a bunch of fear into people and charging his yellow ring, his ring turns red and he is filled with rage. So we're expecting a Red Lantern Sinestro next time, which I think will be the fifth color he has sported as a single color lantern. He was a Green Lantern, a Yellow Lantern, an Indigo Lantern, the White Lantern, and now he will be a Red Lantern. So it'll be pretty interesting. I'm very excited for it. The backup story, the Wayward Son story, continues to be kind of cool with the kid who's obsessed with Sinestro and thinks he's his dad and he wants to be the next Sinestro. I really enjoy this little backer. Just to watch this little kid have like all this rage and like just be a total douche. It was just really, really fun and exciting. So make sure you check that part out too. So I give this book let's do this book gets steak, no egg, but it's like rare steak. It gets a rare steak. And
just for red, because it's red.
Right. Because you're so mad that you gotta kill somebody. And a toasted English muffin with strawberry jelly.
Oh my.
And water.
And water. Gotta cool down the red.
That's how frustrated that Sinestro is. And if you guys don't know who Sinestro is, he is like the Green Lantern villain. Like, he is the biggest Green Lantern villain to ever exist. He was his partner when he first started. He then broke off, created the Yellow Lantern Corps, the Sinestro Corps, and has been one of the greatest villains of all DC history. I own his first appearance, and he's the man. Like, he was in the movie. I wish he would have been the focus of the movie instead of Hector Hammond, but whatever. But he was still pretty good. So
I was gonna say, I thought that it was portrayed very well in that, actually.
Yeah. He was the best part of that movie.
All right. This is the final book in the series of the Arcade Kings. Although, spoiler, they do have a thing at the end where there could be a second volume of this. We left off where the two brothers finally reunite. The younger one didn't want anything to do with the older one because issues. So the older one goes back to dad, who steals all his power. So we pick up from that. He's dad's all jacked up now with these juice, and of course, I think it's like this kind of mutation thing. They don't really define it in the book of why they're so strong and stuff, or where they get their powers. It's just not defined. But he's all, the dad of course is now all like, I'm not on a ventilator anymore, and I'm all badass and big again. So he's announcing like his return to fighting. The youngest has come back and wants to beg for his older brother's life. And of course the dad is kind of a jerk. And it got to the point where you see the youngest, he has powers as well. And he starts going off the charts. This wakes up his brother, who's been like shackled, and somehow his powers also manifest. And together they beat the crap out of dad. And he just disappears. Like, no explanation needed. He's just gone. Then they kind of live a life back where they're protecting his brother's arcade, because now there's chaos because their dad was kind of the overlord of these gangs and stuff, and since daddy's not around, they think they can move in, and of course they beat whoever's coming around. But his dad's minions, there's a couple of ladies you saw in the first couple issues, invite him back. I forget everybody's name, that's why I'm calling them lady and whatnot. I totally forgot.
Lady, tramp, whatever.
Yeah, but she's like, well, this is where they're kind of going to open up for another book series if this continues, which I enjoyed. The art is fun. This is very like Street Fightery, like just, it's like Saturday morning cartoons on a comic book page, is to me. Like, this is what it feels like. But they're like, oh, we're going to have a big tournament, because of course we have to have a tournament. So if they ever do this again, I would love to meet Dylan Burnett. I want to ask him questions of, did you use Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and all those fighting games that we grew up with as your obvious, which did you like better? I want to ask him which ones kind of really he enjoyed, because this is a fun romp. There's like ridiculous, it's a little ridiculous. There is some sadness in it because, people are poor in here, except the Overlord because he's rich. But this is like what current kids should be kind of getting into, where a little bit of real life, but there's a lot of hope in this. And I enjoy it. A lot of brotherly love. There is a very moving scene where they get back together as brothers because, the youngest thought the older abandoned him and everything, and that wasn't the case. So this is definitely one of those breakfasts of, give me an omelet with cheese, add some mushrooms in there. It's a nice hearty breakfast. Give me a couple pieces of bacon, maybe some sausage links. I'll go with, give me some chocolate milk with this. This since it's very fun, and the design, the artistry is, very, like I said, Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah.
It's a fun book. It's a fun book.
That's cool. All right. Oh, sweet. So, This is G.I. Joe 301, which is the first issue. Um, it even says 301st issue on it. It's the first issue with Image since. Well, okay. This is the first Skybound one because it was on Image briefly before back in the day. Still Larry Hama, still a real American hero. This story, I love the writing. I don't know if I like the art that much. And I think it's the color tones they're using because it has like this weird orange color kind of hue to it. So it starts out just kind of telling you who the major players are. So Hawk, Duke, Cobra Commander, Destro, Dr. Mindbender, who apparently is an orthodontist, which I found hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Baroness, Sabentor Khan, who they specifically keep saying Sabentor Khan versus Sabentor. But so there's like a plane with Duke and what the hell's his name? Somebody else is in there, and they're flying, and it's going down over Cobra Island, and the other Joes are in the back of it with all the like all the trucks and everything. And on Cobra Island, Sabentor is like, yeah, we're gonna turn this bomb on, and the bomb will basically turn everybody into zombies. And Dr. Mindbender's like, why would we do that? He's like, because we want to have a great new adventure. And he's like, I'm leaving. And he's like, no, you're not. So it's very interesting to watch everything kind of go nuts. Also, like, there's other Joes on a hovercraft, which is awesome. And they're all like, you need to get away from Cobra Island. So they all, get away from Cobra Island. The hovercraft. One of them has Cobra Commander in there as like a prisoner, and Snake Eyes' dad is there too, and Cobra Commander tries to get out, and he kills Snake Eyes' dad, and I think that was in the hovercraft. That's where that happened. Because then Cobra Commander leaves on a jet sled. Jet sled. Not jet ski, jet sled. So it's interesting. The bomb goes off. And, everybody's like, what the hell? And Cobra Commander's trying to run past it still. And all of a sudden you look in Cobra Island and everybody's now basically a zombie. And he's like, it's Sabentor's like, I have this intense urge to rip living flesh off bone and devour it. He's like, but I'm still me. I'm not sure some mindless criminal monster. So it's interesting that now they're going to be like fighting zombie Cobra in the first storyline back. But there's a really nice Larry Hama storyline in the back where they thank Marvel, they thank Devil's Due, they thank IDW, which was really cool. I think this is a good jumping on book. Like if you're a G.I. Joe fan and you've never read a G.I. Joe comic book, it at least catches you up to where they are. And like in the back couple pages, they actually give you like a little bit of a like who is who. Like Zartan's in there, and Don Moreno, who's like the lady Snake Eye, or yeah, Snake Eyes. Actual Snake Eyes, even though it's dead and then reborn Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, like they're all listed in here. Stalker. So it's kind of cool. I really enjoyed reading it as a old school Joe guy. Watching the cartoons was a lot of fun back in the day. So I'm gonna give this like a big bowl of warm oatmeal with raisins and a large coffee, black, and
Ooh,
dry toast, because
wow.
that's the Joe way to have breakfast. So,
Oh, that's
or
rough.
steak sandwich.
I
um,
don't know.
but it was very good. I enjoyed it. Like, I'm not in love with it because I wasn't a big Joe fan. Like, I haven't read a lot of the comics. I know what happened in a lot of them because I have a lot of friends who do read them, but I've just never been a huge Joe fan of the comics. I like the show, the cartoon a lot.
Mhm.
I remember going to see the movie in the theater when I was a kid with Cobra. La, 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 la.
Yeah.
Like the how they created Sabentor movie, or
Oh
no,
yeah.
sorry, Sabent.
It's
It was
Cobra
the Cobra
Law.
Law. Yeah, yeah.
Cobra
It
Law.
was how they turned Cobra Commander into a
And
snake,
Snake.
and then
I'm
later he
still waiting
becomes
for
like
that
a
figure, by the way. If they ever put out that him as a figure is that way, which they never have
of him as a snake.
as a snake.
Okay. I was
I,
gonna
I
say they did make him in the post snake semi-human form with the cooler mask that I like, where it looks more like Vader almost looking mask.
okay.
With this,
I
which
didn't
was
see
like
that.
that was the Dragonfire era.
Is
I'll try
that
to
when he
find a
still
picture of
had
it.
arms? Did he still have arms on
Well, he
that
had
one, or
arm
did?
like his arms came back. Like they used Dragonfire to try to turn him back. Like somebody did. I think it was Baroness and Destro tried to.
Yeah,
And when they did it, he turned into like a snake man.
yeah,
Like, so he was like all still scaly, but he was at least humanoid.
yeah,
Um, but it was very good. That was like, I think that was like around the end of Joe for me. Like, and then I just
yeah.
kind of get out of it. And I've never been like a heavy military guy, but I always respected the shit out of them. Um,
Yeah.
so it was always cool because I was always like my military friends. I'm like, do you get a GI Joe nickname? Like, it'd just be
Did you get a
it'd
code
be
name?
it'd be way cooler if everyone got Joe nicknames.
Yeah.
He's just like, it would be cooler. Um, so, but it was very good. I do recommend it. Go check it out. It's in stores today.
Here we go. Catwolf and the Howling Commandos. This is number 2. We leave off from where we left off from number 1. Uh, Cap got scratched during this initial Nazi wolf cat soldiers that are werewolves attack the Cap and the Howling Commandos. And then he gets turned into Catwolf.
Yep, Wolf.
Yes, which I love. This is secretly one of my favorite versions of Cap, and people were like, "Why?" I was like, "Because he's a werewolf wearing Captain America outfit, of course." So, and they're sitting there, they're trying to figure out what to do. He's telling them, "I don't want to hurt anybody. You have to kill me." As they're discussing this, their the French spy or attaché shows up and tries to kill Cap. And they're like, "Hey, no, he's one of ours." You know, um, as they're talking and trying to figure things out, the Nazis go and collect their troops that turn back into humans. One of them regains consciousness and tells the witch and the other commanding officers, "Hey, we saw Captain America." Um, and the witch loses her mind. She's like, "You have to kill Captain America so we can use his blood to make the ultimate werewolves." Blah blah blah. So they go out and they send out more werewolves at night. Um, it's a nice transition. I like that where this is going. You never really get to see a lot of Cap back in the day, during World War II, like battles, and you always see flashbacks, but this is definitely one of those because he's still very early in there, because they're always like, well, you're just a propaganda piece, and he's trying to prove that he is not a propaganda piece, that he is who he says he is. um I'm really enjoying this so far as a fan of Cap Wolf. um I'm looking forward to where this is going. Give me good solid scrambled eggs uh with some salsa in it to spice it up a little bit. um what else would I put with
Some
this?
spicy eggs.
Spice of eggs. And let me get all the meat around it there too for the Cap Wolf there. Give me some slab of roast beef, some sausage, and some bacon. Have a nice protein heavy meal there for breakfast.
I was unaware that um that roast beef was a breakfast meat. I don't think I've ever had roast beef as a breakfast meat.
Never during a brunch?
Never.
Oh, oh, you don't know what you're missing.
I've only ever had eggs, steak, sausage, bacon, ham.
Well, if you had steak, how can you not say no to a nice juicy slab of roast beef?
I'm not saying that I would say no. I'm just saying I've never personally, like, hearing roast beef in a breakfast comment is not like, that's just how, not that's something
I think it's also, I think
figured.
it's an Italian thing too.
Okay,
Just to say that, because
it's fair.
whenever I had it, it was always at an Italian restaurant,
Hmm.
and you always get a little bit of different kind of thing going on with
Yeah,
it.
yeah, no,
So,
it's fine. I'm just like, what? I
well,
was like, I've
then
never heard of that. So.
you have to come down where I am, and I will take you to brunch, and you can have some roast beef.
Fuck yeah, I will. That'd be awesome. I do love me some A, roast beef, and B, breakfast. So
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be good. All right. My last book is The Deviant #1 by James Tynion and Josh Hickson. This book is weird. I think it was one of his Substack books, to be honest. Um, so it starts off like where people find or like they ask this dude like, hey, like what's going on? Like you seem a little weird, it's like Christmas time. And then they go back 50 years and this lady's like, oh, I forgot my keys. So she goes back in the mall and then she hears some kind of noise over by the Santa, and you find the guy who was playing Santa has now been killed and is sitting in the Santa throne. Um, and then some other guys find the kids who are elves tied up and decorated like a Christmas tree while being gutted naked. And yeah, so that the cops go and look for it, and they find this weird Slender Man Santa guy. And then they think it's this one guy. So the guy from the beginning, who was kind of having a weird day, is interviewing the guy who they think is the Santa guy. And the conversation gets very interesting. I'm gonna leave it to that so you guys read it. But it was very it was very like counter psychological. Like you would think that it would be about the guy asking questions and then the criminal answering the questions, but the guy's just kind of like standing there and the criminal's like, why are we here? What are you doing? So and then it flashes back to like the little kid driving by the killer's house. And they called him like the deviant Santa or something. And then his boyfriend picks him up. And he goes, or he picks him up from the prison. He's still like kind of weird. And then they just show another guy who just got done being a Santa elf in the mall, and he's like bird bathing in the bathroom sink, and he hears a noise and he looks out, and it's the Slender Man Santa guy with an axe, and just says to be continued.
Huh.
I really like this book because it was very like, it's like partially like serial killery, partially like it almost felt like a true crime drama plus Santa Claus. And I love when you mix Santa and Christmas into something super evil, because I just think it's, personally, I just think it's cool to like counteract all the happiness, um just to bring people down a little bit, but not in a bad way, but it's whatever. Maybe I'm just fucked up. So I'm gonna give this, oh man, I'm gonna give this a giant plate of cookies, um a big glass of milk, and a small bowl of fruit beside it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It's freaking weird, and I think a lot of people will like it if they pick it up. So if you like weird true horror stuff, or horror, like kind of mystery type stuff, slightly sci-fi, because I don't know if this dude is like real or if he's supernatural yet, or if the dude that was the criminal somehow got the dude who was interviewing him to become the new version of that guy. I guess we'll find out. But I really enjoyed it. Check it out. It's The Deviant.
I was gonna say, at least it's not like the trailer for the new Terrorizer came out for Christmas. It's creepy.
Nice.
Immortal Thor #4. This picks up where it left off from last issue. Thor goes to seek for Storm, and he summons her using his ravens. She is not happy about this because, of course, this is in the middle of the Fall of X stuff going on. But he's like, I need your help. She's like, she's hitting him with lightning, and he's just kind of like, this isn't like doing anything to me, right? I'm, Lord of Thunder, no. And she's like, well, I can do more than that. I control weather. You just control lightning, and he's like, well, I control more than that, but I need your help to defeat. He's still like, I guess the old Thunder God is coming back, so he's trying to prep and get ready. So he finally gets her to hold on to Mjolnir. So there's Storm in her Thor outfit, and she's like, don't you need this? He's like, I have my own powers. um you know so and then he summons Beta Ray. He gets Mjolnir and he gets his powers back. Loki touches the hammer as well, and he gets the power of Thor. So you're getting the old Thunder God comes back, and he's facing not just Thor himself, but the Thor core.
Ooh.
Yes,
it's like Thor core.
Thor core. So I like this. This was very like actiony. It was really good to see them all in their outfits. Al Ewing is a master at storytelling here. I cannot praise him enough whenever he is on his game with characters. He did it with Immortal Hulk. He's doing it with Immortal Thor. I think whatever book he works on next, you have to put the word immortal in front of it, so it's a good book.
only immortals.
It's immortal, whatever. It's whatever character. May I make a suggestion for next year is do Immortal Wolverine, and make a really kick-ass Immortal Wolverine book. But this is fun. This is definitely if you were disappointed with Donny Cates' Thor run this past, the last run here, these first 4 issues of this Thor volume you will love. This brings him right back to being the hero, using his head a little bit more. He still has the Thor, was it Thor Force, I guess you want to call it now?
Yep.
It's whatever you want to call it. I still call it the Odin Force. I'm sorry. It's just, but it's cool where he's putting in everything you love about Thor. He is putting into this. I'm excited to see where it goes from here. Give me a Belgium waffle with lots of strawberries and raspberries on it. And you put some whipped cream on that sucker. You want that nice big one, because I feel like this is like, it's everything you want in a Thor book. So Thor fans, please go check this out. And the art is beautiful. Like, again, I think this is Alex Ross covers, yeah, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the best team in Marvel, in my opinion, is Alex Ross doing the art and Al Ewing doing the writing. It seems to be a awesome collaboration that needs to happen more often. So
yeah, hold on. All right, so I found the Cobra Commander thing. All right,
since I got you thinking about it.
Yeah. That one.
Oh, that weird outfit. Okay. Yeah,
I like that outfit.
That's kind of like the He-Man, when they tried to make He-Man like futuristic and crap.
Oh, where they sent him into space, like
yes,
space
with the ponytail and the crappy
that'd
sword.
have been about right. That'd have been around the same time. Yeah.
That's when creators got lazy.
Yeah,
that's what happened there.
Right.
All right. Which shall we start off with here? You want to do the trailers first, or should we leave those for last?
No, we'll do the trailers. We'll do the trailers first, because then we can, because we can't really spoil anything out of that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about the spoiler for Madam Web real quick. If you haven't seen it, you should. It was very, very interesting. It actually looked way better than I thought it was going to, which was also good. But I thought it was interesting, like the characters they're using for it, right?
Yeah.
So
these are
definitely, and also like the actresses in this movie are like top notch. So Sydney Sweeney is going to be Julia Carpenter. Emma Roberts is Mary Parker. Isabel Merced is Anya Corazon. Dakota Johnson is Madam Web / Cassandra Webb. Adam Scott, which I think is hilarious, is going to play Ben Parker. Celeste O'Connor is Maddie Franklin, right? Mm-hmm. So they have not said who the hell is her name. No, she wouldn't be. Maybe Zosia Mamet. They have not said who she will be. And Jill Hennessy is listed as beautiful woman. So, which is really funny.
They're all beautiful, so it's kind of like,
right. I mean,
really?
There's still stuff that's not done in here yet. So the villain though is going to be Ezekiel Sims, played by Tamar Rahim.
Which is odd considering he's technically not a bad guy.
Right.
In the comics.
So in this, it's almost like they took him and made him into Morlun, right? So Morlun and Ezekiel Sims and Morlun have fought each other, but Morlun is the guy who is killing the spider totems in the first Spider-Verse book, right? So that's the whole reason for the Edge of the Spider-Verse or for the Spider-Verse book, is because he is going around killing all the different Spider-Men, and that's how the Spider-Verse worked in the comics originally. That's how it worked. Yeah. Not in the movies, obviously. So I'm curious.
Kind of
intrigued. Yeah. Like it's interesting because like you see some of their costumes in here.
Yeah.
So you have a Maddie Franklin Spider-Woman, you have a Madam Web, you have an Anya Spider-Girl, you have Julia Carpenter Spider-Woman. So, and then you have the Parkers, you have a Ben and Mary Parker. So is this, because I'm pretty sure this is a Sony movie, right?
Yes.
Okay.
This is Sony.
So in the Sonyverse, so this would be in the same universe as like Venom.
Yes.
Right.
And Morbius.
Right. So there's no Peter Parker yet.
Yes.
In that universe.
Yes.
So it almost feels like this is their like ultimate universe almost.
It's
right?
Either, my theory is this, like watching it and watching a couple of the guys on YouTube. Shout out to Comics Explained. For those who never watch him on YouTube, watch him. He is a super knowledgeable dude. But from what he's describing, from what some of these other guys are describing, this could be the intro of Tom Holland coming over to the Sonyverse, and
maybe
of course this is again kind of going to the Spider-Verse, because we don't know how that ends yet, because part 2 comes out next year.
Yeah.
So part 2 comes out. So this could be Tom Holland Spider-Man being thrust into a universe where the other spider people,
spider totems,
spider people, totems, companions are all females. Maybe you may get a shout out from Tobey Maguire. Yeah, we don't know. It's also really vague.
Well, also Ezekiel Sims is the guy who put Silk in the room and locked her away. So I almost want to say that we're going to get Silk out of this for sure. At least I can see that being like at the end. I'm just really excited about it because like we're seeing a whole bunch of Spider Women. Like we haven't seen that yet, and we still don't have a Jessica Drew at all. So she might actually be beautiful woman. Like who knows?
Yeah, but then is that before or after MCU Jessica Drew?
Right.
Pops
so
out.
If we even have that, if it even actually happens, so I'm really excited for it. I thought it actually looked very good.
I was gonna say this looks choreographically pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like the special effects, look solid.
And I like the whole like where she's like freaking out, like I think I'm seeing the future, type thing. And I was like, that's a really cool, like to hear that phrase at all is very cool for this concept of a movie.
And I like the back and forth where her eyes are like spider webs and stuff. That is a cool thing. I was like, okay, cool. I just hope let's hope it goes somewhere. I want to see what this is about. I need to see more, which I guess for the teaser trailer, that's what it's supposed to do. So we'll see where it goes. I am excited to see black and white Spider Woman. Nostalgic.
Julia Carpenter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because she's the Spider-Woman that I remember off the bat from the old Iron Man animated series.
The Force Works cartoon, yeah.
Yes.
Because that's basically what it was. It was West
Yep.
Coast Avengers / Force Works.
Yeah. But they never say that because it's just
Right.
like it's Iron Man and his team.
But also in the not Spider-Verse. In Spider-Verse the comics, Madam Web eventually dies and Jessica or Julia Carpenter takes over.
Yeah.
And then she gives the black suit to Aranya. And so I'm curious to see how that's going to play out because they have some pretty big names playing these people. So I'm curious to see how it all plays out. I'm cautiously optimistic about the Sony Spider movie.
Yes.
Because I'm still not a fan of the Venom movies. So we will see.
Yeah. Let's see.
All right, now we're getting into spoiler town. So if you don't want to get spoilers, then have a good holiday. We'll see you after Christmas.
Maybe
don't do anything stupid. Manage your risk, people. We want to see you alive buying comics.
Worst comes to worst, if you guys still don't get enough of us, I could do a solo thing on my YouTube channel or my Facebook Live. You guys can always find me on all the socials. I will do it like a quickie review, I'm sure, a couple days if John does not, so
I just prefer you coming into the store, play Where's John, see which store I'm in, and then come in and talk to me about comics and give me high fives because it's my world. So all right, spoiler town. All right, we're gonna talk about Loki first. So because I think that's the easier of the two because we kind of were talking about Loki before.
Yes.
So I kind of love and hate this last episode. Because like the rest of the season felt very like where the fuck is it going? Right? Like It was not very good. Like I don't say it was very good. It just was very
confusing,
convoluted. This episode was awesome though. Like it was it was everything that the season built up to be. I really the part that I really love is from the very first like the clip where they go back to the first episode where he becomes a deviant or a variant for the first time, and he's sitting there getting interviewed by Mobius. Woo! I am really tired. You can't tell. So he's talking to Mobius, and he's getting interviewed, and he's talking about how he wants to be a king on a throne. Like that's his whole purpose. That's his glorious purpose in life is to become a king on a throne. And then at the end, when he finally figures out how to fix the problem, he becomes that. Yes. But not only does he become that, he becomes the world tree. He becomes Yggdrasil.
Yes.
And that to me was like, holy crap. Like they really wrapped all of his history together into a nice package.
Yeah.
But for me, like the thing that still bothers me is I prefer Loki when he's a villain. And that's just how I am. So
you and pretty much I want to say half the people that I talk to about this is they are like, I didn't get it. I didn't like it. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, look.
No, I liked it. I liked it. But
they said they didn't like it because Loki is not the big bad. Loki is not doing the evil things. And I'm like, but you do realize also Loki, again, this is a variant of Loki.
That's not what I'm saying, though. What I'm saying is I enjoyed him as a good guy.
Yes.
I prefer him as a villain. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
but it's a little different.
A lot of people prefer, they're like, look, I want him as a villain. I don't want him anything else. And I'm like, I understand it. Good villains are hard to find in the Marvel universe. Loki happens to be one of them. but he's also a really complex character. And I really enjoyed how they went complex.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that this variant, who started out as, I'm a conqueror, I want to be a conqueror, and now he, even though he didn't take the same route as his 616 counterpart that died at the hands of Thanos, this one also came around to realizing that there are things bigger than him. And
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have anything to do with his relationship with his mother, Thor, or anything like that. This was coming into his own through this, and I like that. I like that growth.
Mm-hmm.
And
I agree.
I like the fact that this keeps the multiverse alive and doesn't destroy it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they're going to do with the Kang stuff.
I thought it
something else.
With that, I think that they wrote it in a way that they can now continue with Kang if they want, or go a completely other direction.
Yes.
And that's what I loved about it. It was like the most beautifully on point thing they needed right now.
Yes.
So,
and I have to say, this is where the special effects looked beautiful.
Yeah. I agree.
Him taking all the tendrils, or the connecting everything and turning it into beautiful. It was moving. I love that. My wife loved it, and she's not even a big Loki. She doesn't like the Loki series. She's like, I thought that was a beautiful representation. I was like, I agree.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was a great finale.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I just like, I'm like her though. Like, I really didn't like the show overall, but I really enjoyed this. Like, I didn't hate it. Don't get me wrong. I didn't hate it. I liked it. I just didn't love it.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think my wife compared it to Doctor Who. She's like, this feels like Doctor Who.
It does. It does.
And I'm like,
the second season very specifically does.
Yeah. I was like, it feels like it. I was like, I get that. I'm like, and I'm not a big Doctor Who fan myself, as you know. I'm not. I respect it, but it's not my cup of tea. But I think that's with anything though.
Someday you'll find a doctor that's right for you.
If they give me punk rock doctor, I am down. But
I mean, there are some that are pretty fucking heavy, dude. Like,
oh, I'm sure
the War Doctor might be your doctor. John Hurt being like, "Oh, I'm in a leather jacket."
But it's awesome because like you said, it opens Secret Wars is kind of back on track. Opens, we can still have X-Men, we can still have Fantastic Four, we can still have all the stuff that all us quote old white guys want, because that's all I've been hearing like the past 2 weeks. Right. And I'm sorry, I even told my wife this. I was like, I feel ashamed to be a white guy nerd, because I don't want to be part of that negativity and the nastiness and well,
all right, that's a great segue into talking about the Marvels.
Yep.
So fuck all those guys. Because I really enjoyed the movie. It was an hour and 45 minutes long. It was almost all action. Mm-hmm. The couple non-action scenes were straight out of the books, including the Planet of the Singing People. Mm-hmm. Although the amount of Flurkins were ridiculously cool, even though I'm allergic to cats. It was hilarious. I thought the balance between the three were very good, because it was like, so Carol is now less militant in her overall being. She's like got a little more flavor to her. Miss Marvel, I love that they keep like basically being like, shut up, kid, we got to do this, like, shut up and pay attention, and she just kind of fangirls the whole time. And then Photon's like the middle, right? She's like the middleman for all this stuff. I really thought they did well with that. I thought that the villain was okay, but anytime you use an accuser, it's really hard to do it right. but I thought they did well enough with it to drive the point of the plot over.
I do agree with. I understand we want to do diversity. I'm cool with diversity in pretty much every way. It wouldn't have hurt to just kind of keep the bad guy like the original in the comic.
No, he's dead though. And actually, this is a different. Well, so the original, like Ronan's dead. He died.
No, it's not who. That's not who the current that this last villain was supposed to be. This last villain who was supposed to be is actually a male. Free.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And
they gender swapped, and I probably wouldn't have a problem that they gender swapped, except they did the bare minimum for makeup to make them look badass. It looked like they looked like a soccer mom with a grill. That's all it looked like.
That part I will tell you, I will agree with. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was a dude.
Yeah, I mean, I understand we want the girl power, but that's what the Marvels were supposed to be like girl power overcoming the odds and the men and all that stuff. I get it. And it's not a push narrative like people were saying, oh, this is more MCU stuff. Look, these characters existed well before these movies were made.
Yeah.
And anybody who says otherwise, you do not pay attention to books.
Oh, Darben was the main villain in Avengers Galactic Storm.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I like because some people were like, well, why didn't they just use Ronan? And they were like, well, he's dead.
He's vaporized. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing I don't think they did well enough. They did okay with it, but they didn't really push her backstory, like the whole Carol becoming the Annihilator.
Yeah.
Like thing. Like that was very glossed over. But it did it in a way where it made sense to do it. But I like as a Carol fan, I'd like to see more of it.
Yeah.
So I thought,
or you could have made it part of some of the random areas that other random parts of the movie.
Yeah.
Or other movies, where she's missing and stuff, and you'd be like, it could have been a mid-credit scene. And that would have told a lot more than just, we're going to jam that in there somewhere. And that's why they hate her and stuff like this. And I'm like, lazy writing. And
yeah, but again, though, I think for the hour and 45 minutes,
yes,
there was not a lot of filler.
No.
And the special effects look great. Everything was good. I had a blast. I had a lot of fun. I came out smiling, and I liked it. So, if you
I heard if you see it, you weren't too sure about the first time. If you see it the second time, you like it even better than the first time. So I may have to do that
just to do it.
Yeah. So I guess this is good because I guess the audience, they're going with Rotten Tomatoes crap. The audience score is going up. It's
let's check. Hold on.
I think it's at 70% audience, 75% audience now. It went up quite a substantial
Holy
bit.
shit. So it's 62% on the tomato meter, 84 on the audience.
Yeah. So this is that case of the critics are just being jerks.
Well, I think the critics are over comic movies, I think.
Yeah. So they're going to be jerks about no matter what you put out at this point. The audience, I'm glad to see that 84%, because then that's that's saying that at least there's still the interest. People are still into it. I know it's not made the most money ever. It's people were making the comment that it's the worst Marvel movie ever, and I'm like, I highly doubt that. They're way more. Sorry.
Have you seen Thor 2?
Yeah, Thor: Love and Thunder kind of.
No. Dark World. Dark World
Dark World
was the worst story.
Love and Thunder was bad though too.
It wasn't great. Yeah. So Ant-Man 3 wasn't great, but it was enjoyable. Black Widow was pretty bad.
Yeah.
There was some.
So if you go back to like this year and last year, it's probably the best movie out of the last 2 years.
I told someone the other day,
rank about that.
I said that this felt the most Phase 1 movie or even Phase 2 movie we've had in a long time.
Okay, I can see that.
And the other one that of this phase that I really enjoyed and I thought was very Phase 1 or 2 was Shang-Chi. So those were my two of this chunks stuff. And the next movie we're not going to get until May, and that's Deadpool. So so I also loved at the end, it wasn't even a stinger, it was just the end of the movie of Miss Marvel being in Kate Bishop's apartment, and it was like, oh, pizza dog, this is gonna be awesome. And then Kate comes in and she's like, hey, Kate Bishop, you've been doing a lot of crazy stuff for like a teenage superhero. And she's like, I'm 25. And I was like, oh god. So I really hope it ends up being the Young Avengers, but I also have a feeling that they may use the Champions, because a lot of them have been in the Champions too. But I think we're gonna see Young Avengers now finally, with the twins, with Kate, Miss Marvel. I think Scar's gonna replace Hulkling. Which kind of sucks because Hulkling and Wiccan having that relationship was always like a big part of the story. Patriot, and then we will see a Kang version that is Iron Lad, because Iron Lad is the future that becomes a Kang. So I'm really pumped for it because I love the Young Avengers. I think they're awesome. But the actual stinger, the mid-credit scene. Dude, okay, if you don't want the spoiler, you got to go. But I'm surprised it's not breaking the internet right now.
I think it got, again, this goes back to the gatekeeping and the negative that this is what negativity does. Is
so we're gonna tell your movie is so shit that you shouldn't go see this awesome stinger at the end.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So or sneak into the movie theater at the very end if you want to see this.
Right. So the ending is Monica wakes up Monica gets sucked into a different dimension. She wakes up and she's like, Mom? And the hell's her mom's name? Maria, right? Is there Maria Rambo?
Maria? Yes,
I think so.
Maria, yeah.
And she's sitting there in like a blanket, and she's like, why are you calling me mom? And all of a sudden Beast walks in.
Yes.
Like CGI Beast with the lab coat, the clipboard. I liked it. I thought it looked good. I don't think it looked bad.
Yeah. But it didn't look as good as.
Do I want Kelsey Grammer all done up like he did back in the Fox days?
Yes.
Fuck yeah, I do.
Yes.
But because I know
take this.
I will take this because I know Kelsey Grammer is not that spry anymore.
Yes. Yeah.
Although Frasier season 2 or the new reboot of Frasier has been very good, by the way. But yeah, like so he comes in, talks about Charles, and then calls Maria binary, and then she stands up and she's got the binary outfit on. And I was like, oh my god, I love binary, like this is awesome. And I thought it was good because like it's like she's living the Carol life in alternate universes from the comics, because like she was Captain Marvel in Doctor Strange, she's binary now. So this means two things, right? One, we have a good chance of seeing X-Men. Two, we have a good chance of seeing the Brood. And that's really what I want, because the Brood are what makes her into binary.
Yes. Well, also, does this mean Carol Danvers is still Captain Marvel? But are we seeing Captain Marvel in the black outfit? And
the Miss Marvel, like the Warbird outfit.
Yes, Warbird.
I don't think we're ever gonna see that.
And do we see Rogue steal the power? That would be cool to see.
Well, we might see that with Maria, though. So, or we might see Rogue steal that power from our Captain Marvel, and maybe that's how we get rid of Captain Marvel from this. Or we bring the Brood in, and she does all the stuff and becomes binary, and then becomes Miss Marvel and or Warbird, and then Miss Marvel, and then Captain Marvel again. I don't know.
Yeah. But it goes up to the, they're definitely pushing the X-Men.
Yeah.
Thank God. We're waiting.
Right.
Which
but also like now we have Loki controlling the multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
We have the cosmic bands ripping holes into the universe. We have America Chavez that can dimension hop, and we have oh shit, what was the other one? I can't remember what the other one was. So we have multiple ways to do this. So what I think is going to happen is we're not going to get 80s Secret Wars, right?
No.
90s Secret Wars, whatever it was.
Yeah.
We're going to get that. I think we're going to get the Hickman one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so in the Hickman one, it basically pulled two universes together and annihilated the Ultimate Universe. Why wouldn't they use that same thought, but do this and annihilate, like basically absorb the Fox universe into this universe? And that's how it works out.
Okay.
Although, like, part of me is kind of like, which Charles are we gonna get? We're gonna get, we're gonna get Patrick Stewart. Doubtful. Like, and is that why they CGI'd Beast? Like, is he gonna be younger?
Yeah.
And it be James McAvoy? And then are we gonna get? I really kind of hope we get Fassbender's Magneto, because he was an awesome Magneto.
Yes.
So
we'll see. It's all up in the air. Also, I watched the trailer for the What If 2 season 2. I'm excited for it because there's a lot of cool what ifs that is sprinkled in there. I know it's not you don't like the what if stuff.
I mean, I enjoy them, but I'm like, they're kind of dumb, but whatever.
But it's what if. That's the whole point.
Yeah, I know. I think it's because they did it to the MCU and they didn't just do it, right?
Yeah.
Like, if they were doing it to like more stuff, like just like if we got like a Spider-Girl episode, I'd have been fucking pumped. If we'd have got like the bad part about What If is the What If comics basically became all of the content of 2000s comics, right? Like Secret Invasion, like actually pretty much everything from the Heroes in the Avengers Initiative forward through the Hickman Secret Wars. All of that stuff, all those great storylines were all stuff that came out of the What If issues. So,
well, by the looks of it, this looks like this kind of picks up a little bit where it leaves off. But they did tie a lot of what's going on from the end of Loki into this. So, because the Watcher even says, he says the what ifs are twisted. Hence, twisting of the thing. So I'm excited for it because I love I like animated anything.
I also don't. I think for me, I just also don't like the animation.
I can see that it is that weird. We're trying to make it look realistic, and it's no, stop it. Just animate it. Just draw it. Just stop it. But I'll get that when X-Men 97 comes out next year. So I wanted it to come out this year like it was supposed to, but I will be patient for next year.
I'm okay with it too.
Next year.
I'm good with, good things come to those who wait, or
Yes.
that's what they say at least.
Yeah.
So, all right.
But yep.
Cool. Well, I think that was
I think this is
a wrap
one
on
of
the
our
year.
long ones. Yeah.
Yeah, we went like an hour and 20. Well, I mean, we're not doing another one for a couple weeks, so yeah, we'll see you guys in the new year. We might, like I said, we might do an extra one the week of between Christmas and New Year's. Let's see how the rest of the year goes.
We got to show off our Christmas gifts, I think, too.
Right. Yeah. So, all right, cool. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe, manage your risk. Don't do anything stupid during the holiday season. A lot of people do. Watch out for people who are doing those kind of things. We want to see everybody safe and sound in the new year. Yes. And go support your local comic shop, whether it be on local comic shop day or every day, or just new comic book week or new comic book day every week. Go support. Doesn't have to be ours, but it's got to be somebody. And
you don't have to buy the biggest, most expensive thing. Go to the cheap bins.
Yeah, find some stories, man.
Yeah.
That what did Stan Lee say? Like when people are like, how to get into comics, like you read it. So exactly. Go find one, pick it up, read it. It's gonna be a good time, I promise you. And if you need suggestions, find one of us. We'll help you out. So if you happen to be in one of our stores. So, but thanks a lot, guys. Be safe for the holiday. Have a good Christmas. Have a good Thanksgiving, and or whatever holidays do.
You choose to.
There's a lot of them. Yep. There's a lot of them. They all happen to be around the same time, but yeah. So have fun with that, and we will see you guys in a couple weeks. Thanks.
Later.